You're listening to the Embrace What Matters podcast, bridging the things of eternity with everyday experience. Here's your host, John Michalak.
Welcome. I am so excited about this new format and what's in store in the coming months with these new episodes. We started last year, if you've been listening, with a series of sermons that I delivered while pastoring a church in the country of Honduras. And now we're shifting to a more traditional format. I'll be alternating episodes between spiritual meditations and guest interviews. The meditations I'll be sharing are based on thoughts from a new book that I'm releasing. The title, Unto Life, Reflections on both the journey and the destination. For the most part, the book is a collection of past reflections that I've written, a few spanning back over 20 years. In looking back over what I'd written through the years, I noticed some common themes. And so I organized the reflections by those themes and then under one universal theme, which I'll share in today's introductory meditation. As mentioned, each meditation episode will be followed up by a guest interview. I'll be talking to people who embrace what matters and are making a difference in what matters in the world around them. We'll be learning their story, who they are, and what matters to them. But we'll also try to frame at least some of our conversation around the theme from the previous episode. Stay tuned to the end of today's podcast to learn who our first special guest will be. Without further ado, I hope you're encouraged by today's first meditation. Where are you headed? We're all headed somewhere, even when we're headed nowhere. Are you moving toward a sense of belonging and connection, where you found your place in the world around you? Is your journey energized by inspiration and freedom, direction and purpose? Are you traveling toward a place of contentment and healing? What exactly is your motivation for moving forward? And what's your finish line? Despite the daunting challenges that come with any great journey, some people at least know where they're headed. They've chosen a path that gives life meaning. You have a choice, even now, on the path you choose, and the quality of both your journey and your destination. I once read that there are 3 ways to approach life. Option 1, you can consider everything in the world as evil and then hide out, waiting for heaven or maybe for Christ's return. Option 2, you can consider everything in the world as good and then live a life that satisfies every impulse and embraces every pleasure. Option 3, you can seek to make the world more holy by recognizing and taking part in God's activity to restore this fallen world, knowing things are still far from perfect, but that one day all will be made new. I like option 3. Option 3 is about living eternally in the here and now, to live in the reality that Jesus is with us and that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The Apostle Paul said this, God made from one man every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling place, that they should seek God, and perhaps feel their way toward Him and find Him. Yet He is actually not far from each one of us. For in Him we live and move and have our being. If we can truly live and move and have our being in this personal and everywhere present God, if we can truly live our lives as agents of restoration, consider how much more of the world will be opened up to us. We can discover eternity in the most common things. in friendship and family, in our careers, in our workplace, in community service, or even the political arena. We can see it in our hobbies or in the things that entertain us, in how we treat others, including our enemies or those we disagree with. Abraham Heschel said, "The God of Israel is a God who loves, a God who is known to and is concerned with man. He not only rules the world in the majesty of his might and wisdom, but reacts intimately to the events of history." And so eternal life and connection with God isn't something we have to wait for. Walking in step with the benefits and expectations of God's heavenly kingdom always begins now. In this way, your journey is intimately linked with your destination, and every step that you take can be seen through eternal eyes. So, where are you headed? Where am I headed? If we're smart, we will be headed unto life eternal through Jesus Christ. Thanks so much for listening to this first meditation. As promised, our conversation in the next episode will be with Nashville singer-songwriter Andy Gallahorn. In both Andy's music and Andy's life, you will hear many examples on how to live eternally, how to make common things a bit more holy, and how to live life as a restoration agent in this suffering world. I'm so looking forward to our next episode. We'll see you next time.
This podcast is a production of Embrace What Matters Ministries and is available most anywhere podcasts can be found. We encourage you to subscribe, rate and review, share, and please send us a comment or an email. To learn more about John, his devotional book, and other writings, please visit embracewhatmatters.com.